Yes, so welcome back onto this channel. We are back again. Oduduwa Nation, no going back. Exactly what the people are still talking about. All right, my people, this is another one reaching us right now. Onto these Yoruba people will leap for joy when they hear Sunday Igboho'S next move. All right, and then this has been said by Professor Banji Akintoye. All right, my people, this is another good news for all the Yoruba Nation agitators right now. Onto this, many things have been said. Okay, and then right now, according to this, it says eminent professor of African history and the founder of Ilano Homo Hudua and Umbrella Body for all Yoruba self-determination groups speaks to Dare Adekambi on the reason the group went to court to stop the gubernatorial elections coming up in Osun and Ekiti State. Well, the ongoing constitution amendment, the release of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, among others. All right, and then meanwhile, onto this, a lot of questions had been asked, and then I'm going to read these questions to you, then you understand exactly what is going on right now. Well, according to the question, it says you and then heads of other Yoruba self-determination groups have gone to court to restrain INEC from conducting Guba elections in Ekiti and then Osun State. Why did you take this route? All right, and then according to Professor Banji Akintoye, he answered by saying that, well, leaders of our many Yoruba self-determination organizations decided to take INEC to court to restrain them from holding gubernatorial elections in Ekiti and Osun State after deep considerations and widespread consultations. Well, our contention is that our organizations have individually and collectively declared repeatedly in the course of over 1 year that the 1999 Constitution is a fraud. In that position, we have been strongly supported by a large array of leading citizens and legal luminaries. Even the National Assembly has admitted this and then has therefore embarked upon an effort to remedy the Constitution, even though they know that they have no powers to amend the Constitution. In short, the rulers of Nigeria have been treating us as people without rights, people they can simply continue to rule even without a proper constitution. Of course, we Yoruba self-determination organizations haven't made it known to the world to the whole world that we are resolved to seize our Yoruba nation self-determination and establish our Yoruba nation as a sovereign country of our own in the world. Decided that we would not look on as our Yoruba people continue to be treated as part of Nigerians who are being ruled as people without rights, people who are essentially slaves. To carry out our decision, we have two options: either to resort to violence to stop the elections or to use the power of the law and the courts. We opted for the use of the power of the law and the courts in accordance with our determined and then well-known policy that our self-determination struggle shall be peaceful and law-abiding. Let it be known to all that we will pursue the court option absolutely vigorously, supported by the overwhelming majority of our Yoruba people. The overwhelming majority of Yoruba people at home and in the diaspora, including the newer Yoruba diaspora in most countries of the world and the older Yoruba diaspora in countries like Brazil, Cuba, and most other countries of the Americas, we are determined to win and we shall win. All right, so these were the words of Professor Banji Akintoye. The answer to that. Well, another question says, well, is your demand realistic in view of the preparations that have gone into the said elections, especially by the parties, the candidates, and the expectation of the peoples of the two states? Well, he answered by saying, well, of course, our step is realistic. This question of yours is based on an assumption that Nigeria as an entity has the right to continue to hold elections even against the obvious refusal of Yoruba people to vote, and thereby and thus the continuation of their quasi enslavement in Nigeria. My answer is based on the fact that we Yoruba, like any people or nationality in the world, have the right to retrieve our self-determination and sovereignty from the country to which we now belong, a country that we were included without our consent. Well, a country in which we have suffered serious losses and retrogression for over 60 years. Naturally, we sympathize with those of our Ekiti and Osun kingsmen who desire to win elections under the fraudulent and illegal system. Well, they are our own brothers and sisters, and we are not fighting them, but we have high hopes that most of them will give up the electoral chase of the court hearings progress in order to stop wasting money, energy, and intellect. Well, most members of the National Assembly know that the National Assembly has no constitutional power to amend the Constitution. Let us not forget that every newly elected National Assembly since 1999 has played around with meaningless effort to amend the Constitution, and that such efforts have never resulted in any change in the Constitution. The current game playing with the Constitution is no more than a cynical tactic to deceive Nigerians to hope that the Constitution will be amended and that whatever elections are conducted now and in 2023 will be validated by the amended Constitution. They don't believe that they can validly amend the Constitution. Well, as for the masses of our people in Ekiti and Osun State, they are not waiting or eager to vote in any Nigerian election. They are expecting to have their own sovereign independent Yoruba country soon. Their overwhelming political cry today is Yoruba nation now, no going back. All right, so well, according to another question, it says, well, if you think the National Assembly can't remedy the defect in the Constitution, what would you recommend as the proper thing to be done to birth a document that will be widely acceptable to all parts of the country? Well, he answered by saying, well, we in the Yoruba self-determination struggle have nothing to recommend towards the birthing of a Nigerian constitution that will, according to you, be widely acceptable to all parts of Nigeria. If you hear us talking about our constitution, please be informed that we are not talking about a Nigerian constitution, but about the making of the right and the proper institution for our own Yoruba country that will come soon. All right. Well, another question says, what do you make of some of the acceptable recommendations, such as electricity, railway, and then other times moved from the exclusive to the concurrent legislative list? Okay. Well, according to his answer, he says, well, recommendation to move electricity, railways, etc., from the exclusive to the concurrent legislative list are mere playing upon the mentality of Nigerians. As I said above, such amendments by the National Assembly are mere cynical jokes. Well, the National Assembly cannot amend the Constitution even if the Constitution does get amended by some legally proper procedure, and then electricity and then railway get moved to the concurrent legislative list. Such changes will not measurably affect the lives of Nigerians for the better. Well, we know, and then certainly you know too, that the ethos, the purpose of leadership and the government in Nigeria is not to improve the people's quality of life, but to control the people, to maintain indifference to the people's condition, to enrich the rulers, to force religion on the people, to relish decline, deepening poverty, and then degradation, all in the belief that the poorer the people become, the easier it will be to control and ride roughshod over them. Well, in such as certain former constitutional changes cannot mean much in terms of the people's quality of life. Well, your group and then other advocates of a restructured Nigeria appear to be on a lone path. Activities for the 2023 elections are already kicking in, and everybody is already looking forward to the elections. They won't listen to you or groups like yours. Well, no, we in the self-determination struggle are not on a lonely path at all. You are wrong in your belief that because the 2023 elections are approaching, our people will not listen to our message. They are engaged with our message very massively, and they are increasingly doing so. Well, the Yoruba people have chosen their destiny, and nothing can divert them away from it. Remember something that our father, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, once said about the Yoruba people. He wrote, "The truth about the Yoruba people is that they are sufficiently enlightened and bold to refuse to be led by the nose by any person, however sophisticated such a person or group may be. Maybe they are slow to anger, robust on contentions, alert to their rights, and then will fearlessly resist and combat evil wherever and wherever they discern it with all their might." Our Yoruba people have no doubt that evil dominates Nigeria, and that the evil has been waxing strong and strong for over 60 years. They are deeply saddened that the evil is ruining the quality of their lives and destroying everything that they hold dear. Well, therefore, no amount of propaganda, no small bribes from the enormous wealth that politicians have stolen from Nigeria's purse, no other kind of enticement can now make our Yoruba people choose to uphold and sustain the horrible evil that they know so painfully. All right, my people. Well, many things are actually being said onto this one, according to what news is reaching us right now. According to Professor Banji Akintoye on this one, he said, "Well, Yoruba people will leap for joy when they hear Sunday Igboho'S next move." All right, and the meanwhile, majority of people have actually reacted in one way or the other. Well, I think I'm going to take some few of these comments so that you will understand exactly what the people are actually talking about the movement. All right, my people. According to Stephen Chidozem, he said, "Well, as small as Benin Republic is good and peaceful country, some foolish people will tell us that we are better to be one than to divide rubbish talk. I support Yoruba nation." All right, so this one has been said by Stephen Chidozem. And then, according to an anonymous person on this one, he said, "Well, if you don't want election, then how do you want to change a bad government? What of people that know and believe that voting is their civic responsibility? Hence, no one will be allowed to disenfranchise them. It is better to go and look for something else to do. All right, anonymous person has said that so far. Well, every right thinking Nigerian knows that this country is rapidly decaying with attendant limajiri system, a system that deliberately promotes feudal lordship over servants and slavery. Logadian fraud is overdue for extinction. All right, so this Professor Akintoye is no, is not working for the Yorubas. He is working for the CIA. All right, very soon I think Nigeria will determine his fate. All right, so this one had been said by Amen Olorunbe. Okay, well, that is name where majority of things have been said. Majority of people have actually heard their minds. Well, the truth of the matter right now had been that as far as this movement is concerned, the Yoruba nation has said no going back on this movement. Well, our people, our prayer has been that the good Lord will know see us through this, because as it stands right now, come 2023, the Southwesterners have said it that no going back and no voting for no any candidate. In fact, they don't even have any candidate at hand right now on their minds right now. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what transpires. But our prayer has been that the good Lord should see us through, because right now some set of people have been like, hey, this will be bloody. Meanwhile, some people have said that forget it. No election, nothing they happen. All right, my people, many things have been said. What more can we say? Meanwhile, let me have your own take, my people, on this one, and remember to subscribe for more updates if you are new on this channel. All right, thanks and God bless.